Now live.
Happy hour live. Well, Megan's coming. This is Tamir. Welcome to our bar. Everything here is basically all of our essentials, right? Except for this prop and this prop.
Hi.
There she is.
Welcome to our very first ever episode of Happy Hour Live with Meg and T.
That's me.
We're just gonna do this every day for a fun little project. So while we're away from our regular bars, we can still connect with some people who are in their homes. For those of you who don't know us, Tamir and I are both bartenders, bar managers of different programs. We normally work separately, and then now we
We're trapped here.
we're stuck here together.
Yeah,
So
as bartenders, and we only know bartending away. We don't know bartending home. So we're learning, and you're gonna learn with us. That's the best thing. If you hear a little grumbling, that is two friendly dogs.
do you want to see them?
Yeah,
Hi,
we
Pupperinos.
just don't know how they feel,
This is-
but we feel great.
Hold
That's
this one.
Deagla, always known as Darla. She loves everybody.
And this is Hubert. Hubert's a foster. He's looking for a home. Shout out to Emily if you're there. Emily might be
Perfect.
perfect for Hubert. But anyways, we just thought we would show you guys what we've been doing during quarantine for our home bar, other than throwing sanitizer all over each other. Thank you so much.
You gotta make sure. Oh, I got you already. I'm
You
ready.
got
I'm
me,
ready.
but this one, actually, little shout out here, I guess, says,
We're
thanks
ready.
for scooping my poop. Is this the one your friend made?
I don't know. It was free. Anybody got free sanitizer?
Oh, I
out there?
thought this was a shout out to Fareed from, what's
Oil-
his distillery?
Oil. Yeah, Falcon Spirits. Big shout out to Fareed for taking care of the bay as much as he can. Hopefully others can continue, and there's so many other distilleries helping out. Thank you very much. Boom. Yeah, this is old sanitizer. I never use sanitizer as a bartender. Holy shit, I hate it. But now I use it regularly, and I constantly have to use oil afterwards and back the sanitizer, and so it's funny to me.
Struggles of
Yes.
the COVID. The
Yeah,
struggle is
really
real.
big struggle.
So we're here at the home bar, and we just thought that we would share with you what we like to drink during quarantine. So,
It was what we figured out to drink because we were not prepared at
yeah.
all.
So we're kind of making do with what we have.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first, or?
Sure. Yeah, I'll start off with what I do. I'm going to move around her favorites because we had to find those in the hardest places possible. So she's lucky she gets what she wants. This is a backup plan here. Honestly, I just like to drink booze at home, meaning just booze in a glass, and that's about it. But luckily we freeze these nice little big cubes, which I'll show you in just a second. And so I am really lazy, especially at home. You might think I make a lot of effort at work. If anybody knows me who bartends, it might seem like I care a lot, and I do for others, not for me so much. So usually it's just, do I want ice tonight or do I not want ice? But now that I've been here 2 weeks alone, I've expanded a little bit. So what would I normally do? Let's see here.
Quick shout out. Sorry, I had to interrupt. All the people following live, 4 of you. Oh my gosh, big deal. Thank you for tuning in. Hi to Skin and Diamonds. Hi, go talk to Katie. Okay, keep going. Keep
Perfect.
going.
All right, we got ice in here. Normally it's simply in the freezer. I don't like reaching down for it, so we're gonna display this nice little bucket, which we had to clean out pretty well. Trust me, it's really clean. Here's what I figured out to do. I don't want to stir. I don't want to get the tool. I don't want to clean it. I just put 2 cubes in there, and hopefully that'll melt by the time I'm done with this. Maybe not done making the drink.
So-
at least done by the time I'm drinking it.
Are you
So-
literally just
Oh yeah, I'm
shaking
lazy.
ice cubes in a cup right now?
I'm a lazy person.
You're a lazy person.
yeah.
All right.
So we had
Mottos for millennials.
We had some random Spanish vermouth that was really tasty. I actually ignored the brand completely. Mm-hmm. And
Which brand?
I used it. It was a Spanish vermouth that had V on it. You probably brought it in.
Perfect.
So Spanish vermouth had a lot of sherry components to it. I loved it, and I killed all my own sweet vermouth, all my sweet vermouth earlier, and I was using this as a sweet vermouth, and it was gone. But this is what I was doing with the sweet vermouth. We're gonna pretend, because I'm gonna try something new. I'm basically gonna try a dry Manhattan here, but I was making Manhattans at home because I didn't want to complex it at all. So what I was doing is just free pouring, because at home I have no time to use a jigger. Because I need my drink now, and I'm not that picky. I'm simply getting this as cold as possible and diluting as easy as I can. And at first I was doing 50-50. I was going half vermouth, half rum. And I found this great rum that Megan brought, Don Q. It's finished in sherry cask.
Oh yeah, shout out to Don Q.
And to be honest, like I said earlier, I like to drink stuff neat or on the rocks. And I was, actually, it was only me drinking this, right?
You?
Yeah, you didn't drink any of this, right?
No, you.
I cracked the seal. This is what I've done. I've done that.
Okay.
Over the past 2 weeks, I've done that. Okay?
Impressive.
Yeah. I'm not even going to whiskey. We don't even have good enough whiskeys right now. I don't want to crack open those whiskeys yet. I'm saving for maybe month 3 of quarantine.
Okay.
I don't know yet. I don't have plans, but I want to just use up some other stuff that's already open.
So right now he's chilling vermouth.
And usually this sits while I'm making her a drink or cooking. It's actually cooking 99% of the time.
Priorities.
Yeah, that's definitely a priority. The drinking doesn't start till later, as I'm afraid to drink earlier.
Okay.
It might not be very productive. Anyways, let's keep going. We got this rum, and I'm just going to free pour it again. It's that vermouth that I poured in there was a little diluted. So that's nice. I got my water, because that's part of a cocktail. Here, if you want to just stare at that, you can. This is already mixed in, which is great. At first, I was just adding a big cube of right on top, taking my little pinky and stirring it. And then I actually had an orange left over from my restaurant, and I peeled it. Now I'm too lazy. So, I found these great bitters. I don't know if anybody knows this producer, but Miracle Meyer, that was fun. But anyway, so this is bergamot bitters. Good substitute for orange bitters. I like it. And actually, this might work better today because I'm doing a drier Manhattan. So there we go. It's diluted pretty good. I can't use an ice cube. Oh no, oh look, I have tongs at home. I actually haven't used tongs since I've been at home, but I'm very happy to use these. And made a mess, but it doesn't matter. Nobody needs to see. But I basically stirred it already and added enough dilution. It'll melt some more. I'll be very happy. Right now, it's not a perfect temperature, but I'm going to put this to the side and hide it. And we're going to make Megan's gin and tonic. Or do you want to?
I want you to make it. Well, first, okay, so I want to kind of like talk to these people for a minute and just make sure I understand what you're trying to teach them, which is that if you're looking for a spirituous cocktail, say people are at home and they've never been their bartender before, at least we have a little more experience. Basic recipe to start with is a Manhattan style. You could do 2-to-1 ratio, 2 parts of the spirit, 1 part of a vermouth. In this case, we used the rum and the dry vermouth.
It's Coffee Americano. It's like Lillet. If anybody knows Lillet, it's like Lillet, but maybe a little more bitter.
Totally. But yeah, so that's a suggestion. And then just like Bartender 101, one of the favorite things Tamir likes to say is that, what's in a cocktail?
Let's just start with water. It's mostly water. Just kidding. Spirit, which is your alcohol. It could be rum, whiskey, gin, vodka, tequila, mezcal, keep going on and on and on. Eau-de-vie, brandy. Anyways, it can be all those as a spirit. And it can be sugar. You have to have sugar, water, spirit, and last but not least, those bitters. This is a good example. But the most common is Angostura.
Yeah, so when you're at home trying to make your own cocktails, thinking it's good, but it needs something, just ask yourself, spirit, sweet, bitter, water. It's probably one of the things. He always says a cocktail by definition is a spirit with sugar, bitters, and water for dilution.
That's basically about it. And with that base, you can do almost anything you want, any balance you like.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's a good segue into me talking about my philosophy of cocktails, which is that there's no wrong. I think of cocktails kind of how I think of fashion, that there's not necessarily any like one way or the other to do things. There's just different. There's different combinations and contexts, and maybe you want one for one occasion and one for a different occasion. And
exactly. If you didn't like it one day, next day you're going to try something maybe a little different, or maybe something really extreme on the other spectrum.
Totally. And we're just here to kind of empower you and kind of encourage you at home in your house to just say yes to your creative intuition and just try making a cocktail and make your hours happy. And that's definitely one thing. So for me, before you make my gin and tonic, I'm just going to make what I think I would have if there was only one spirit I could have during like a quarantine time or a shelter in place, which is just Chirot on the rocks. So it's kind of boring if we're looking for like a fruit mixology show, but I guess for me, it's kind of like a little black dress moment. Going back to that fashion metaphor where like it just always does the job for me. And it has some of those components we're talking about in a cocktail, the sweet. Chirot's an aloe vera liqueur. And so they distill a bunch of different stuff in California. Muskmelon, do you want to open this?
Yeah, cucumber.
Cucumber, mint, muskmelon, and then they sweeten it with aloe vera liqueur. So there is like a slight sugar content. It's pretty...
That's the easier way, by the way.
Okay, perfect. It's like pretty low in calorie. I think it's like 70 calories an ounce, or maybe 2 ounce. I forget. Helen will remind me. But anyways, this is what I have been craving.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but
go ahead.
As I open this, all I smell is cucumber coming out in that aloe, but like that cucumber comes through really good.
I don't even smell it yet, but
it's perfect for the spring.
Yeah, so for me, this is a cocktail in a glass, and if you have never tried it, which probably most people have never tried it, you could look on their website. I think it's like Chirot-US. It's in 40 of the 50 states, so not everyone can get it yet. Like, sorry if you're in, I don't know where, but hopefully, fingers crossed, type in your zip code, and you could get it. But I just find sometimes for me with beverage, I want an old standby. So again, that's like the little black dress or that favorite pair of blue jeans that like if you're going sometimes to something important, you want to wear something that you know is going to work. So sometimes I just don't have the patience for anything crazy and creative. Also kind of a lazy at-home bartender. And so for myself, we keep this, actually let me grab one of the big cubes. We keep this in the fridge so it's already cold, the Chirot. And then B...
And one thing that's been happening to me lately...
Do you need this for your drink?
Oh no, that's
okay,
all for you.
So, looks a little crazy, but I'm going to put it in the stemmed glass because why not? And I'm just going to drink it on the rocks. It basically tastes like, I don't know, maybe like cucumber juice meets LaCroix minus the bubbles.
Exactly.
Just like all the refreshing flavors.
Why do you like it on one cube?
I could have put it on a lot of cubes, but the one cube seemed like way more extra. So, I don't know. Probably...
I like how it looks.
I like little cubes too sometimes because little cubes kind of like dilute more like quickly. And I like a slushy margarita, like, and you shake it and you do the dirty dump. I like all those ice chips. And I think there's some like lost art in kind of like simple bartending, like how I started bartending 15 years ago in upstate New York. So there are times when I just want like something simple with regular ice. And then, I don't know, there's a big ice cube in there, so I grabbed it. Yeah, but...
This is kind of like how we... being stuck at home has made us this like rookie bartender again, which is kind of crazy. We're here and we're like, wow, what are our tools? Do we have any? What's our ice? Found something.
Totally. And maybe like you at home might not have a jigger. So maybe as we go on these episodes, you might not be able to like use a jigger to say like 1.5 ounces and an ounce or 3/4, but we can talk to you throughout our journey. We're going to be airing daily at 8 o'clock. And we can teach you some tricks using things you have around your house,
Speaking of journeys, the ice that I put in the very bottom there, they're all melted, and this big cube is still there.
Yeah.
So I kind of have a perfect dilution here, maybe for a perfect sip.
But yeah, so the only other thing we really
cheers.
wanted to cover, cheers, to our first episode, and thank you all for tuning in.
Oh yeah, that's just what I wanted. It'll be too watered down in about 5 minutes, so we have to wrap it up.
Yeah, definitely. So the only other thing I wanted Tamir to show you, or maybe we'll do it tomorrow. You want to do it tomorrow? I feel like this is already long for an episode.
It probably is, but I can make it really quick.
Okay, so let's be honest. He makes better gin and tonics than me.
I put no effort into it. She just thinks I do because I make it.
I don't know what to tell you, but I try to make it myself, and it's not the same, and it's not as good. And I was hoping he would teach you all at home how to make the perfect gin and tonic, but I'm actually not going to listen because...
I'm just going to roll with this.
Yeah, he's just going to keep making me gin and tonics, and it's going to be great. So I'm going to check in on the viewers and see
You can
what's
watch,
going
you
on
can
there.
rewind, and guess about why the way I do it is the best for making it. Being upset at another person for no reason at all. Oh yeah, here. You know what? Little play. Zephyr, elderberry, elderflower, blah blah.
I did used to work for Zephyr.
Well, I like to do the lime ahead of time so it mixes because, like I said, I'm very lazy.
Okay, so what did you do so far? First you poured in tonic?
Tonic first, then the gin. It doesn't matter which way. I'm mixing ahead of time. The biggest thing I'm doing here is I'm adding the ice last so I don't have to stir.
Okay.
Because I am lazy. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I like this corkscrew. Only at home do you get things like that. You don't work with that at home. That will not work at your bar at all if you're dealing with the public. Yeah, maybe actually. Let's go. Is that enough ice? I know it's not enough ice. Let's do some more ice for you. Sometimes I will top her off with a big cube, depending on what I think the mood is.
But like, how would you know what to put in the glass? Because so far you made a cocktail and I didn't learn anything. So I don't think our viewers learned anything either.
Oh.
Can you...
Here's what I put in.
Less blah, blah, blah and more like information.
Okay. Gin.
How much?
Approximately 1.5 ounces.
So if you're looking at an empty glass, can you point to where it would go?
I have a jigger here.
But they might not have a jigger at home.
Uh-oh. Well, that's enough.
So like when you did the glass, did you do it to like 2 fingers?
How about the equivalent of if I emptied this whole lime shell out? That's just under 1.5 ounces.
Okay.
Right here.
So you could empty your lime first and half a
you
lime.
would have to get rid of all the insides.
Okay, so that's complicated. So we're going to work at getting him to simplify his explanation so it can
We're
make
going to have
sense.
you use jiggers at home if you really want a jigger.
Okay, sounds good. Amazon can get you a jigger by tomorrow.
1.5 ounces. Sometimes I pour you 2
Hey, Kevin! Shout out to the neighbors, Kevin and Kevin.
Kevin's here.
Both of the Kevins are here.
I always save some tonic for her just in case she needs a top off. That's another big thing. So I give her the option. I have her taste it. But really the deal is she tastes it. She says it's fabulous and that's it. Or she tastes it and I wait and I might adjust for her. Do I ever adjust it for you?
It's always perfect. So we want to know, what are you guys making at home? Oh, and Kevin's wanting to know, what are we making here? So here we're making the perfect gin and tonic. So far, Tamir was explaining to use 1.5 ounces of gin, top it with tonic, and then add ice. I'm still not sure why his is always better than mine. Did you squeeze the lime in before you put the ice too?
I did too.
Okay, so I'm not really sure why. He didn't explain why that worked out.
I'll only add the lime wedge in the glass if I like the limes. Our limes got a little older, so I only used a little bit.
Okay.
So sometimes it matters what produce you have.
So he's picky with his fruit.
Yeah, I'm really picky with my fruit.
But shout out to the Kevins. We just saw the Kevins while they were walking their dogs, and they've been enjoying Manhattans, and their little at-home quarantine trick is that you need a good rye. So we mixed it up using rum today, but keeping it classic, you might go for the rye. It looks like we got the other Kevin there. And then Emily Gross from Los Angeles says hi to the Kevins. You guys are actually famous now. But I think that about wraps it up for our first episode. So I guess, hang on, maybe I'll just pop back into frame and we'll say goodbye to you guys for now. Unless, was there anything else you wanted to tell them today, Tamir?
No, I'm just excited that I found my fancy sanitizer.
Oh, the fancy sanitizer. Perfect.
She says thanks for scooping my poop.
And there's a photo of a cat on there.
Yeah. It doesn't look like my cat, but that's all right.
But we just want to reiterate to you that we want you to stay home, stay safe.
I was going to say, the cocktails will get better.
And the explanations will get better as well.
Yeah, because we're learning just like you all right now. We had no idea this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And we are stuck here, and now we got to make good drinks at home. So tools are coming, good booze is coming, better ice maybe?
There's always room for better. It's like
Everything.
fashion. You can always buy more accessories. But yeah, so what did we say? Keep your hours happy and your drinks sweet.
And sour?
And bitter, and
Throw some salt in it.
I'm into it. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. See you every day at 8.
What did you eat some poop? We turn it off.
It's still filming.
Okay.
They say the next drink should be a perfect Manhattan.
Oh shit.
And he's excited for the next happy hour. And we have a little update. We got a little gift for Tamir, dog pee in the cat litter. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.
I'm fucking pissed off.